I always thought that I should just like start it a couple of minutes early while I look through my iPad, see if there are any last minute stories. If you guys are logging in right now, if anybody jumps in, let them know. I'm going to be starting here in just a few. I just like to get it, kind of like pumped up. I'm kind of like fluffing the live stream that's about to be bestowed upon you on the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. So just give it a few minutes. Be right with you. All right, guys. Raymond, hey, Raymond B., how are you? Gonna wait for a little bit, get some more people in here. Nedley Mandingo, how are you, my friend? I'm gonna talk about a little bit of some of my ideas, some of the ideas that I've had, and I showed you guys the computer, the computer that my producer got me, and what they sent him was not what it was supposed to be. So what I'm trying to say is that it was a little bit of a setback because I want to be able to get on this computer and be able to do some stuff. And I'm going to get into my vision of the show. So we worked on it. It didn't work out. Now, usual me, Tuddle, I would have gotten all bummed out. I would have gotten bummed out. I would have got Iggy T. I would have gotten bummed out because I would have been like, oh man, it's just not meant to be. The computer, it didn't work. Oh my God. And no, that's not how I reacted. I kind of had like a little epiphany. I had a vision. I don't know if it was flashback from some drugs back in the day, but who knows? But I had a vision of what I want to do. And I called a couple of the people that I know that are great with technology and stuff. And I talked to them. I want to come pick your brain because my vision is, because I've talked about this when I do the podcast, the live stream. One of the only reasons I want to get back on radio is because it's live content. Live content is just, it's just so much more daring. You know, how these adrenaline junkies like Travis Pastrana and all of them go out and do stuff. Doing live content, it's just a whole different ball game. It is. And my vision is, because I'm going to find out all the equipment that I need. I'm going to go meet with Daniel from A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I want to look at what he has. I want to look at what he has, and then I want to look at some of other setups. Because I want to do a live stream like it's a radio show, okay? I want to be able to play audio. I want to be able to play videos. And unlike other shows, like radio shows that are on other streaming platforms, I'm not going to get visual with audio and video that I play, because when I'm doing the live stream, I want people to be able to see the video, but I'm not going to mark out to visual things that people can't see on the audio side. It's just, I'm not going to do it. And I also, when I get done, see, this is my idea. If I can get this set up, where I have a desktop, great microphone, a board where I can play audio and video, where I can take phone calls. I already got a Google Voice set up, and that's what I want to do. Karma, I mean, you're more than welcome. I think it would be a great conversation if you came on. What up, T-Bone? How are you? But my vision is to do, if I'm just being honest, by the way, this is the first time I'm going to mention it. I'm not panhandling, but don't forget, you guys can super chat me. Like, right now, I'm kind of like a dancer up on the main stage right now. I'm a dancer trying to clap that ass right now. And you guys can and super chat me. Throw me some money. It's like a tip jar. I'm trying to work for your dollars. So if you want to do that helps me out a lot. And that's the other reason that I want to do this 2-hour live stream. Yo, yeah, 2 hours? What do you mean, Tuddle, 2 hours? What I mean is that I want to do a show. It's going to be a night show, 8 to 10, Monday through Friday. It's going to be live video here on my YouTube channel. And then if I get a lot of this stuff, Bo D, how are you, my friend? If it catches on, like, and I get the equipment that I can do what I want to be able to do, Karma Sweet. Oh, Karma. I appreciate that, but I'm going to have to use that for other things in the near future. So, Karma, I really do appreciate that. But what I want to do with the live stream is I want to do it like it's a regular radio show. I want to be able to talk about my personal life. I want to open up with a monologue. Cousin Scott, that used to be on the Drew Garabo show with me, he talked about it. He was like, Tuddle, check out his live stream, the Central Florida David Letterman. And I'm down for that. That would be great. I'll open up with a monologue every single day. I will talk about stuff in my personal life, but then I also want to get into radio show type stuff where I can play audio and video, funny audio. I can take phone calls. Because a lot of people, I don't get a lot of phone calls. I don't get a lot of voicemails. Because I think a lot of the listeners and supporters of this show have been conditioned on how radio really is. And people think that it's radio, but it's not. Like, a lot of radio people get mad when you call in with, like, an opposing opinion. And I want that. I want that. When I worked with Bubba, it is one of the smartest things. It's one of the things that I picked up from him the most is that you want to pit the guys that have the opposing opinions, the callers. You want to pit the callers that hate you. Those people go straight to the front of the line. You want to put those people on because having a debate is interesting. And if you're having that debate, how entertaining is it that if you just put somebody on the line that agrees with you? Hey, Tuddle, big fan, long time, first time caller, long time listener. I agree with everything you say. I agree with you. I agree with you that you need to put opposite opinions on and da-da-da-da-da. That's boring. That's boring. It's boring to have callers on that agree with you. T-Bone, what up, Tampa Terry? How are you, man? Hope you've been well, brother. What did they say about me on Bubba's show, by the way? I'm kind of curious about that. But, yeah, so what I want to do is do the show. I want to do it 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the reason I chose 8 is because I look at my analytics on the audio podcast, and a lot of people listen and consume my content on the West Coast. So I thought 8 o'clock, it's a good time for people on the East Coast. That's when they run primetime TV. Might not be smart on my part to compete against primetime television, but you got 8, and then you got people on the West Coast that get off at 5. So I think 8 to 10 would be perfect. So I'm going to do it just like a radio show, Monday through Friday. And then when I get done with the video live stream, I want to... Jesse Nix, been listening to Tud since high school. Love this man. Jesse, man. That's a really big compliment. I really do appreciate that. I do. But back to what I was talking about. So when I do the show from 8 to 10, when I get done, what What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the audio. I'm going to take all the audio out of that, and then I'm going to post it on the audio version of the podcast. So I know that I'm not going to be doing 2 exclusive shows anymore, but I actually think that the content's going to be better because instead of preparing for 2 shows, the audio podcast and the live stream, I think that it's going to work out better because I'm going to be able to pay more attention to one show that you'll be able to listen to audio, because maybe some people don't want to watch YouTube. Maybe they just want to listen to it when they're on the way to the job that they hate and stuff. So that is my plan. You know, with this computer not working for me, got to send it back. You know, like I said, old me would have let that ruin his day. But no, I'm just not doing that. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. Matter of fact, it motivated me. It did motivate me. Before I get into my topics, I want to mention my really good friend, Ian Hanna. Ian Hanna, he's one of my most loyal sponsors of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. But if you're in the market to buy or sell a home in the Flagler, Volusia, Brevard area, and hell, even if you're not in the market, if you know somebody, a friend, a family, coworker, loved one, whatever it is, tell them about my good friend Ian. Ian Hanna, he helped my mom save a bunch of money on the new place that she bought. He's helped me save money on places that I've bought as well, too. He's a whiz when it comes to drone footage, and one of the most important things about buying a home in the state of Florida is that you want to make sure that the roof is good. And Ian, he can just pop that drone, like that $5,000 drone that he has. He'll pop it out of the trunk, put it on the ground. He will give you a sexy-ass shot of the roof of the potential house that you're wanting to buy. So, once again, go check out my friend Ian Hanna, IanHannaHomes.com. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, Volusia, Brevard, Flagler. Do it. I got to get my iPad out here, because there was some stories, and I found a couple of them pretty interesting. By the way, nobody has mentioned, because a lot of people, I know that I still got a little bit of a shadow behind me, but it's not as bad. Do you want to see how ghetto I am? Look at this. I will show you. This is my backlighting. It is, hold on. It would help if I turn the camera around. That is my backlighting. It's a lamp from the living room that I put on the side with a pillow. I know that's probably a fire hazard, but I got to do what I got to do. That's just the way that it is. So I'm doing everything that I can, but I got a meeting. I got to create a meeting with my producer, Vulture. I also have a meeting that I'm going to go check out Daniel's setup. And I'm telling you right now, once I get this thing rolling, you're not going to be able to stop it. It's going to be huge. But this headline kind of caught my eye and caught my ear. Not just old folks. Sudden heart problems can kill younger adults making love. Now, you always hear about the young sugar baby. She's got a sugar daddy, and she is just getting after it with her old like beau. That the only reason she's with him is because, oh, he's old. I might be able to have sex with him so much I can get money out of him. But now I guess it's happening with the young adults now. Dying while making love is something most people probably assume only happens to older adults. However, a new study reveals that the sudden heart problems can even strike down younger adults while they're having sex. See, this is the other thing. You never know where these studies come from. A team from St. George's University of London. Okay, so the Brits. We'll see how this goes. University of London says, while death during a bedroom romp is rare, Middle-aged men are not the only one, are the only people at risk of checking out during a moment of passion. In a review of nearly 6,900, see, come on. Yes, I am going to get a green screen. Come on, now, we all know, 6,900 cases. We're talking about a sex story here, right? This is from studyfinds.org. So, look, I see what you're doing, studyfinds.org. You had to throw. It couldn't be 6,800. It had to be 6,900 cases of sudden cardiac death between 1994 and 2020. Researchers found only 17 deaths occurred during or within an hour of having sex. That's just 0.02%. All right, so let's get into some of these numbers, though. All right, here we go. We'll go to the Germans. The Germans are the freakiest of freakiest when it comes to pornography on the internet. In fact, a German study of 32,000 sudden deaths over a 33-year period also found that 0.2% died during sex. But the average age of these individuals was 59, and the vast majority were men. Yeah, because, come on, let's be honest. Who's doing most of the work? And I know, like, I know that I'm trying to be shocking. I know that I'm trying to push buttons, but come on, guys are doing most of the work during sex. I don't know. It's been so long for me. I forget. Maybe women are doing most of the work. Who knows? What is SADS? SADS is a real problem during sex. I gotta see what SADS is. Oh, okay. SADS is sudden arrhythmic death syndrome. Let's see here. Unlike previous reports, the St. George's team found heart attacks were not leading cause of death among people expiring during a lovemaking session. Instead, 53% had a structurally healthy heart but died of abnormal heart rhythm. Doctors call this condition arrhythmic death syndrome, also known as SADS. Isn't it funny how when doctors can't explain what's going on, they always put sudden death on it. They do the same thing when it comes to infants. If a lot of infants are dying, they always call it like sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. Now we got SADS. So is SADS and SIDS, are they teaming up like some superpower? Because they're wanting to know what really happened to them. They don't want some lazy-ass doctors to say, oh, it's just sudden death. All right, let's get to the part. See, you know what? This story was nothing but clickbait. It really was. One of the other things I want to get into, they're making a big deal. Okay, now, I talked to my friend Amy from Swansea, Wales, in the United Kingdom. And for one thing, I always get confused. Their temperature, their Celsius, I think their freezing is 0. You know, us as Americans, we always like, oh, our measurement system is the best. I don't need to learn your stuff. If you're in America, you speak American. I shouldn't have to learn Spanish. No, that's not the case. We're so arrogant as Americans. We really are. But we talk about Celsius and Fahrenheit, and I tell her because it's cold there all the time. And when I tell her what's going on here, she's like, "Oh, I have no like sympathy for you." And it's just like, yeah, but it's cold for Floridians. But Arctic chill will bring 30s to Miami for the first time in 11 years. I don't think a lot of you guys realize this. Miami, I always talk about Florida being subtropical, and it is. It is. Central Florida gets cold. It gets maybe 1 or 2 freezes a year. Some years, it's only 1 freeze, and we're talking about a hard freeze. And here in Florida, we got a lot of fish that aren't used to the cold. Oh, you don't? So what do you guys use, Fahrenheit or Celsius, Iggy? I thought Canadians used the metric, right? Maybe look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong about a lot of things, and I'm not one of those people that won't admit it. But So a lot of people, because Chicago, Minnesota, all those states around the Great Lakes, those lakes are frozen over. Do you realize how cold it's got to be to freeze over something that's called a Great Lake? You wouldn't even have to look at it. You wouldn't even have to look at it. If somebody said, "Hey, come see the Great Lakes," and you didn't know anything about the Great Lakes, but they said, "Hey, come see the Great Lakes," you'd be like, "Okay, these lakes have got to be big." It's not like one of those like oxymoron nicknames like you call a 7-foot guy shorty or you know a fat guy skinny or a skinny guy fat. It's not like that. It's cold. The Great Lakes are big. That's why they're called the Great Lakes, and it's so cold it freezes that stuff over. And that happens a lot of times. But when it comes to Florida, we only get one freeze. We only usually get one cold, hard freeze all the time. And we got citrus here. You know, for a while there, the citrus was one of the biggest exports, and I think it still is. But they will do that. Celsius Jones. You know, a lot of people don't know this. Also, where I grew up at, DeLeon Springs, Pearson, where I went to school, fern capital of the world. More fern is produced in Pearson than any other place in the whole face of the planet. It's right there, and fern gets burnt. Fozzie, what's up, Foz? What, dude? What's going on, Fozzie? Man, I mean, I feel honored that Fozzie is in here. So, Fozzie, you're never gonna have to worry about me banning you from anything, Fozzie. Like, you got the keys to the castle. You do, Fozzie. Like, you can run ramp shed all over everybody. Like, yeah, I'm never gonna kick you out for like being too stiff or whatever. Yes. See, T-Bone, you kind of, you spoiler alert, you already knew where I was going to go. But yeah, the iguanas. And that's the last thing I want to talk about. So, you know, Florida has a lot of homeless people. And it's not that people are lazy and stuff. Thank you, Fozzie. Means a lot, buddy. Can you make a special Tuddle pizza? Fozzie, I've been seeing you do some pizzas and stuff. Like, I will promote the hell out of a special edition Tuddle pie. Like, if I got you some, like, stickers and some stuff like that, like, could you come up with a Tuddle pie? And if somebody orders a Tuddle pie, maybe you can do that? You know what, Fozzie? I'll get with you, okay? I got your number, buddy. But, with the iguana, so, you know, well, I'll talk to you. I'll give you a call, Fozzie. I want to do a Tuddle pie. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have to do anything. Fozzie, I would just like to see what a Tuddle pie. I would like, you know what, Fozzie? I don't want to tell you anything. I want to see what ingredients, Fozzie, that you think best represents me. Because you, Fozzie, you were creative with the Cleminians. I am very curious for my own sake, and I would like to try it. I would like to see what type of pizza you would make that would represent me. Yeah, Fish on J, I was going to get to that about the freeze. The snook. You know, Fish on J, you've been over there. No, I don't have any allergies at all, Fozzie. I can eat anything. But Fish on J, you're right. We had a hard freeze a couple of years ago, and it's not only the snook. They actually, it killed off a lot of the regular fish as well too. We didn't get a lot of mangrove keepers and stuff. All right, T-Bone. Hey, man, I really appreciate you checking out. Hopefully, you enjoy the race. But yeah, that happened. I'm lost. Fozzie came in. Where did I go? Manatees 2. I am all over the place, and I just spun myself out. I did. I spun myself right out of this. It's been a long day. That's why I get up so early in the morning. If I start doing the 8 to 10, matter of fact, I'm going to do a review this weekend, and then I'm going to play it. It's going to be like a special thing. What up, Ryan? Hey, Ryan, I talked to my producer about you today, and we got some ideas. Either way, I want to have you on as a guest. So, Fozzie. No, don't worry about it, Fozzie. I'll get with you, buddy. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I got some food to eat. I made some pork chops, gravy. I usually make real mashed potatoes out of potatoes. But I've been using the instant potato gimmick. And I know that a lot of people are going to hate me. I prefer the instant mashed potatoes over the real deal Holyfield. And then I had corn. I had corn, and sometimes I look at corn, I'm like, it's such a waste to eat it. It is, especially the next morning. All right, I'm getting out of here before I go any further. Anyways, guys, check out the Tuddle Daily Podcast. It's available now on all podcasting platforms. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.